Hello everyone, I am Himanshu Chaudhary and welcome to the first ever video on my YouTube channel. This is a podcast I have done with my captain, which is one of India's leading UI UX training schools. In this video, you will learn about how I became a UX designer, how I transformed myself from a graphic designing guy to a UX guy, and what skills are needed to be a UX designer, and how I balance work and life, and so on and so on. So don't go anywhere, stay tuned.
Welcome to yet another podcast. Today we have somebody very, very special with us. We have Captain Himanshu Chaudhary with us today, who is one of our top mentors from my captain. He has some amazing insights to share with you all. So without any further ado, let's get started.
Thank you, Deepak. Thank you so much for the wonderful welcome and introduction. I have started my design journey back in 2012. So it's been over 10 years now.
Captain, 10 years is a long time.
Yeah.
How did you actually start designing?
Fortunately, I had a very clear understanding from my school days that I want to do this in my life. And on top of that, my parents were supportive. They went with me like, okay, if you want to do, then do this. I discovered this 3D and animation thing, and I got my curiosity up back in those times when I was in 11th standard. And even before that, from my childhood, I was into arts and drawings and everything. I used to do performing arts as well. I used to sing. I used to play guitar. I was totally into the arts thing. So it was very clear to me. So then, after school, after I did my 12th, I directly got into a program called 3D animation, and I enrolled myself there, and I did that course. People generally used to go college, but I did not. I directly went to that institute, and I got enrolled, and I completed that thing. Midway, things turned out into the different direction, and I developed interest in graphic design and web design along the way. So that's when those times there were no my captains, there were no online teaching things, there were only these physical institutions. Back in those times, they were the only option. So then I streamlined myself into the graphic and web designing thing. Naturally, I was inclined towards technology, so I wanted to get into the web internet side of the things. And it was the times when Indian startup industry was in infant stage and they were developing. And eventually, I got into a job, a proper office going job as a graphic designer and a visualizer. After just completing my graphic designing course, I used to earn 6,000 rupees per month as an intern. I was pretty excited, like I got a job. This is my first job of my life. Then I worked there for some time, for a few months, 6 months, I guess. Then I discovered this freelancing thing. I knew that there is this freelancing world out there, but I did not know how to approach and how to get those clients and all. But eventually, I made up some connections and I got some work. So got into the freelancing world, and for like 3 to 5 years, I did that. But there was this itch inside of me that I am doing this because kind of work I was getting back then, it was related to corporate identities and branding and logo designing and graphic design. Very little work from website design side. And apps, forget it. No. So there was a itch inside of me that I want to get into this scene. How do they design these apps? Finally, in 2017 or 18, I decided, no, man, no, I really want to do this. And that's the time when I decided कि यार कुछ भी हो जाए यही करना है. If I get the opportunity to work with some company or any design agency for free as well, I'm gonna do it. So that's the time I decided and developed myself, taught myself YouTube articles, websites, internet, all of that. And finally, in 2019, I got an opportunity to work as a UI UX designer as an intern. I was earning well in my freelancing gig, but that age, I thought, okay, man, no, drop this. I need this. So I went there and started my internship in 2019.
So also my another question that I have is you mentioned that you were a lot into drawings, paintings, arts.
Yeah.
How does that actually I've been curious about this. So how does that actually help, or what is the impact of that on your career?
In UI UX particularly, those things, I don't think those things matter a lot. But if you are a creative person, if you're a creative person by nature, you will be into something, be it music, be it performing arts, theater, drawing, doodling, anything, composition, movie making. It can be anything. So it helped me certain level of degree, but not that much. But yeah, that was my background, and I still doodle out somewhere here and there.
Great, great. Okay. Another counter question. You mentioned that your first internship was a graphic design internship. What was your actual first UI UX job?
I got this project from overseas, a client from UK, and they wanted to redesign their website. It was back in 2016, I guess. I can call that a proper UI UX gig because before that I used to design websites. It was web design. It was web design, not considered. You cannot consider that UI and UX because there were no research and there were no all the things that are needed in proper UX and UI design. So
was it that way back in the time that you just redesign without any kind of research? Was it that way, or was it this particular client? Was it the case everywhere back in the day?
No. Most of the cases were like that. Just they need the redesign, or they need a new design, or they're just starting from scratch. So in those times, there were no such things called the user research, heat maps, and all those things we use in today's times.
Got it. All right. Thank you so much for this, Captain. You have been in this industry for like now 10 years. You must have made some mistakes, and now that when you look back, what is that one thing which you think you should have known earlier about design or about UI UX?
Well, Deepak, this answer will be a little bit technical because from a psychological point of view or from the laws point of view, I don't think that I was lacking behind that much. But technically, I was, because I did not know coding. Even I hated coding. So I didn't even wanted to look at those things, those numbers, those lines. Man, I don't get this. So I wanted to stay away from that. So one thing is this, that if you want to be successful in UI or UX design, you need to have a bit of a knowledge of code. How does the code works?
Not necessarily you sit and code, but you know how tech works, or the code lines work. Got it.
Correct. So that's one thing. The second thing is, I did not know the resolutions and aspect ratios. The technical thing I was talking about.
Okay.
And back in those times, 2014, 13, 15, there were no such guides back in those times. Even if you have searched the internet or anything, there was no help. So you are on your own. And even these UX design programs like Figma, Sketch, and Adobe XD, they came out later on with these things, the presets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So back in the day, what were the tools that you were using? Let's say your first gig that you did.
Photoshop, Illustrator, and we used to design the things in Photoshop and Illustrator. Then we take them out to InVision and prototype there.
Okay, guys. One thing that Captain, did not mention about him during his introduction is that he is a traveler. He is a YouTuber as well. He has he posts some amazing travel videos. You should go check them out. We will share his channel link as well. So, Captain, I have a question for you. How do you manage your work and you know everything else that you do? I want to hear from you what exactly you do,
Yeah.
and how do you manage both of these things? Guys, also, Captain's YouTube channel is in the chat section. Make sure you are subscribing to him. Yes, go ahead, please.
Thank you so much for the promotion, Deepak.
That's our pleasure, Captain.
I learned the art, I will call it a art of
Okay,
unplugging from work. I have learned this art in 2020, COVID.
okay,
Those times, suddenly things changed and work came to your home. Your desk was your office. Your bedroom was your office. Initially, I struggled. I could not log out of my laptop, my office laptop. I used to work, late in the nights as well because कुछ था ही नहीं करने के लिए. So it was like that. But it's good that I realized this very very early that this is not good and it is going to have adverse effect on my health as well. I made up a routine. I will wake up at 7. I will freshen up, have some outside walk or something, or then I will have breakfast, bathe, and everything. Then I will start my work around 9:30, 10 o'clock. I will open up my laptop at 10 o'clock. Then I will have lunch at 1 o'clock. 1 to 2 is my off time. No calls, no email replies, nothing. I made a schedule. Then at 4, I close my laptop and have a stroll at the terrace, come back at 4:30, then work again. And at 7:30, I close my laptop for the day. I made this as a rule that after 7:30, no email replies, no chat replies, no calls will be taken, nothing. And
okay.
if
Just sorry to interrupt, but before this, were you like a total workaholic? Once
yeah,
before you realized this?
yeah, yes, like that. Even if I closed my laptop, my apps were logged in my phone, and some
Yeah.
ping came, and then I instantly open it up and reply. And if word come, I open up my laptop and do the thing. So I realized that this is not good. So I made this a rule.
Got it.
Till 7:30, no calls, nothing. Laptop is closed. It is going to open next morning.
Amazing.
And Deepak, the amazing thing is, once you make this a habit, your surroundings also become like this. I mean to say
Okay.
that people that are working with you, they also understand that this person is not going to work after 7:30. So there's no point, pushing this thing to him at this moment.
Got it. Were you more productive after this once you
Yeah, of
started
course,
following this?
of course. The fixed schedule, productivity lasts on.
Amazing. Okay, so what was the last place you traveled to or went on a trek to?
Recently,
Was it Rishikesh? I think I saw your video about Rishikesh.
yes. Recently, I we went to Haridwar, but before that,
Haridwar.
Udaipur. The bigger trip was Udaipur.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Amazing. Great.
Uh, I have not answered the question that how do you manage your travels?
Yeah, exactly. How do you manage both of those?
I have told you that I have schedule. I
Yeah.
have made an inclusion to my schedule that I will take out 2 hours daily,
Okay.
edit my videos,
Okay.
just to edit my videos. 2 hours in the morning because my work starts later in the day around 12. So 10 to 12, there's a time that I'm going to edit the reels or the videos, everything. This. And then I plan my travels on weekends first because my wife is also working and she, we have to manage. So
Yeah.
I travel on weekends. Plus, I sandwich a lot.
Got it. Amazing. Before we sign off, uh, one last advice for everybody who is just starting out with this, with their UI UX journey, who are starting out with the course. A lot of them might be anxious. A lot of them might be, very overwhelmed with what is going to come up. So, what would you advise them?
There's a tendency in newcomers, I have noticed a lot. They focus more on the look and feel. So they want to make their designs very aesthetic, neat and clean, colorful, or they would use the best icon pack out there. They will try some different fonts, different
Okay.
typefaces. But the more important thing is always try to understand the end user, your user. Try to be in your user's shoe. Try to be the user. So understand the user. ये जो मेकअप है लास्ट में हो जाएगा, डोंट वरी.
Amazing. Got it. Got it. Okay, we have another question. Can you suggest any books or material that you should be reading? Do you read, Captain? Do you read?
Well, I'm not a reader. But I read design related books. I have read Susan Weinschenk. I have read Don Norman and all the others, Steve Krug. So 100 Things Every Designer Needs to Know is the book from Susan Weinschenk. And she has really, really good insights about UX, UI, and general facts, psychological facts in general in the book. And those books are really, really good. If you will read them, you will really learn a lot of the things.
Great. Guys, take notes of this. So yeah, I think we are done for the day. Thank you so much, Captain, for giving us all the wonderful insights. So why we have this podcast, and this is something that I say at the end of every podcast, is that these are the things that cannot be taught during a session in the class. This is something that we get to know when we have conversations, when we deep dive into the mind of a person like you. So thank you so much for doing this. I am sure that our audience has loved this. Guys, can you quickly show some love for Captain Himanshu in the chat? And also, please make sure that you are subscribing to Captain's channel. We have shared the link. I think that's a wrap. Thank you so much, Captain, for doing this. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in. See you all in the next episode. We will keep you posted. Thank you. Thank you so much, Captain. Good night.
Thank you, Deepak, and thank you. Thanks, everybody, all the lovely audience.
Now, before you go, let me tell you something that I'm planning to host a podcast on this channel called Humans and Design. And as the name suggests, it will be based on everything design, where I will bring industry experts from different fields and subject matter experts to talk about design and stuff. So don't forget to subscribe the channel and follow me on LinkedIn. All the necessary links are in the description. See you in the next one. Himanshu Design.